Hi, I'm Jeff Dixon. Welcome to A Man for the Moment, a look at George Washington as part of our America 250 celebration here at the church at 434 and on the church at 434 in motion. We are looking at the life of George Washington. And today I want to talk just briefly about George Washington's courage. See, if I were to ask you the question, was George Washington courageous? Everyone's going to say yes. Because there's nothing that we know historically about George Washington that says he was a coward. Why is that? Because George Washington was not a coward. He was a man of courage. He was a man who was courageous, not just in his own personal life, but he was courageous as a leader. See, Washington displayed remarkable courage and creativity during battles, particularly on that famous crossing of the Delaware. See, he led his troops into a surprise attack on a Christmas night, exemplifying how to be bold in the face of uncertainty, exemplifying how to be fearless when there was a lot to fear, exemplifying how to be creative when there seemed to be no way forward. Washington put on display in his leadership a willingness to display courage. Joshua 1:9 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, for I, the Lord your God, will be with you." Washington's bravery reminds us that when you are following God, you can step out and be brave because you never are stepping out alone and you know that God is with you. I've often wondered if George Washington wasn't the man, if he wasn't the leader that he was, if he wasn't the follower of God that he was, and he didn't rely on God, would America ever have emerged and became the nation that it is? I tend to think the answer is no. But because George Washington was willing to step up and become the man for the moment, America became a great nation. And America found its leader, and America found the foundation that it needed to move forward. And that impacts you and I today. What a great testimony of what it means to be a godly American, an American who is serious about fleshing out their faith in the freedom that we've been given. A great model of that is the lessons that we learn from George Washington. Be courageous, and don't be afraid to step out. And don't be afraid to become the person that you were created to be and step into the greatness that God destined you for. Because today, we need that more than ever. Remember that as we celebrate America at 250 years. I look forward to joining you in our next episode.